Hello, Charleyy here and welcome to another Xbox Deals video. This week there's a Super Saver sale on, plus some huge games from Focus Home Interactive and deals with gold on offer. And kicking things off, Benny's got an absolute baller.
If, like me, you've been watching the Michael Jordan documentary, you may want to lace up your sneakers and get ready for the glitz and glamour of the NBA yourself at a fraction of the price. An absolutely astonishing 95% off to be precise. This is the most complete Xbox basketball game yet, featuring a stacked lineup of modes such as My League, My GM, and the return of My Team. This is a game mode that players of FIFA Ultimate Team might be familiar with, letting you take the reins of your very own NBA franchise, outfitting them with today's stars and NBA legends. And if you aren't quite tempted yet, we've also got another option for you, courtesy of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Right now, you can redeem a very naughty perk as part of your subscription that also drops 5,000 My Team points, 30 skill boosts, and more into your account. And also, did we mention that NBA 2K20 is included as part of Xbox Game Pass on console? Two top deals for one of sporting's greats.
Next, we've got a shockingly good deal with an iconic trilogy of shooters for just 1/5 of their usual price. Bioshock the collection is, well, it's a collection of Bioshock games, from the first through to Infinite, all complete with their DLC and extra content like a virtual museum. And in this week's aptly named Super Saver sale, you can grab it for 80% off. There's a lot that makes these games classics. The genetically modified powers, the amazing creature designs, the story twists, but if you were picking just one aspect, it'd have to be those unique worlds. Oof. First, in Bioshock 1 and 2, it's off to the bottom of the sea as you visit the underwater city of Rapture. It's a little past its best by date, so rather than joining the swinging cocktail parties, you'll instead be fending off wrench-swinging maniacs in masks. Then in Bioshock Infinite, it's up, and away to Colombia, a floating city that's basically the American dream if you strap some balloons onto it. But it doesn't take long to find a dark side, and before you know it, you'll be up to your elbows in enemies. As the famous line goes, there's always a lighthouse, there's always a city, but there's also always a weirdo in a mask who's out for your blood. Interesting that.
We're heading to Washington, D.C. in this next deal for Tom Clancy's The Division 2. You play as an elite operator fighting to rebuild society on the brink of collapse, whilst battling dangerous factions, all vying for power in the crumbling city, all with a tasty 67% knocked off. You'll need to gear up and use unique skills as a Division agent to take on new threats in a one-to-one representation of the real city, with amazing Xbox One X enhanced graphics and HDR lighting. The Division 2 is a shooter RPG, so expect to take on tough boss fights, level up your character through skill builds, and collect top-tier loot as you progress through the game. The Division 2 offers gameplay for every mood, whether you fancy taking on DC solo or teaming up with your squad in co-op. Plus, there's even PvP in the game's conflict mode. With a rich and intense storyline that'll keep you busy for hours, The Division 2 is a huge bargain in this week's deals.
Bloom CTOS is like a giant spider web, endlessly gathering data. They're making backroom deals to trade our private information. We have to stop this.
Another 2 to make the deals twice as nice with Watch Dogs 2 Gold Edition. If you just can't wait for Watch Dogs Legion to drop, now's your chance to explore the series' latest massive open world as you take up the role of Marcus Holloway, a young and talented hacker up to tricks in the beautiful San Francisco. You're a member of the hacktivist group DedSec, working to take down an invasive operating system called CTOS 2.0. The dodgy software is being used by criminal masterminds to monitor and manipulate citizens on a massive scale. So naturally, it's your job to bring the corruption to light and reveal the evil intentions of the sinister company. Plus, because this is the Gold Edition on sale, you'll receive the full game, 2 personalization packs, and the Season Pass, which gives you 5 add-on packs, such as the T-Bone Content Bundle, Root Access Bundle, and the Psychedelic Pack.
From a way into the system to a way out in our next game, we've got 75% wiped off a way out. This thrilling action-adventure game completely revolutionizes co-op play and is one you'll need a buddy for, as the game is exclusively two-player, either local or online split screen. But good news, not only is the game on sale, but you only need one copy between the two of you. Even more savings for some co-op fun. When you purchase the full game, you can invite any of your friends online regardless of whether or not they've purchased the game. Choose to play as Leo or Vincent, two new friends working together to break out of prison and seek revenge on those who put them behind bars. The game plays out like an interactive movie with cutscenes, timely action missions, and a lot of communication needed, sometimes with you needing to complete scenes in tandem. You'll have to make some tough decisions with your player too, but this dramatic story game is definitely one not to miss.
You of all people should know there's plenty wrong with me.
I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been a lot of iconic American cities in this week's deal. Columbia, San Francisco, Washington. So let's keep that theme with possibly the most iconic of all. Gotham City, of course, home of a certain Bat-themed superhero and his rogues gallery, aka the intermittent inhabitants of Arkham Asylum. The Batman Arkham collection puts you in the cape and cowl and pits you against pretty much every one of those villains you could possibly name, and a few more besides. The Joker, Two-Face, Catwoman, Solomon Grundy, they're all here, ready to be biff-powed all the way back to the asylum. On top of Rocksteady's classic trilogy, the collection nets you all manner of DLC, from extra costumes to story-based expansions that let you play as everyone from Batgirl to Harley Quinn. So it's already a bit of a bat bargain, and this week you can get it for 2/3 off.
If you're more inclined towards rats than bats, then our next title will surely satisfy your needs. There's 75% off A Plague Tale: Innocence, one of the most technically demanding games we've seen on Xbox One. Somehow, the clever folks at Asobo Studios managed to devise a way to render up to 5,000 on-screen rats at once, all without impacting performance. The overwhelming sensation of those furry critters helps build an almost believable picture of 14th century France during the times of the plague. Get yourself ready for a heart-rending story that follows the brother-sister duo of Hugo and Amicia as they do their best to evade the swarms. It's not all doom and gloom, however, as this title boasts an impressive set of Xbox One X enhancements and HDR support to really shine on the Xbox One X, with some beautiful vistas and environmental design, coupled with stealthy action, brain-teasing puzzles, and a collection of interesting characters to meet. This is one game you won't want to skip. As for those repulsive rodents, don't expect them to be so innocent, as a collective of rats is actually called a mischief. Better mind your step there.
Sometimes what you really want is a nice big old school fantasy RPG to get your teeth into, especially in times like these. So if that's you, our next deal has you covered. Greedfall introduces a fantasy world that looks an awful lot like the 17th century, casting you as a settler from a not quite European empire who arrives on an island paradise with the aim of colonizing it, but who might just end up siding with the natives instead. It's your call at the end of the day. And that's the kind of big moral decisions the game hands you, and this is just one of the ways that Greedfall harkens back to a golden age of RPGs. If you're a fan of games like Dragon Age, you're going to find a lot of love here, with real-time combat that can be paused to queue up your next attack, and a party of companions to assemble, keep happy, and of course, romance, naturally.
We are not amused.
Our next couple of deals are for Xbox Live Gold subscribers, so make sure you've got that locked in before purchasing. Saying that, the smart play would actually be to subscribe to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. That gives you access to over 100 games on Xbox Game Pass for console and PC, as well as Xbox Live Gold. Think of our next title as a digital tabletop board game, but on a global scale. We are, of course, talking about none other than Civilisation 6, and it's all for a rather economical 35% off. This is just in time for the hugely anticipated New Frontier Pass, which is dropping on May 21st, which will be bringing some brand new premium content on a regular basis to Civ 6. As for the base game, you've got an expansive turn-based strategy game to play with that tasks you with building a civilization from the ground up, from an unnoticeable band of citizens all the way to a glorious empire, backed by world-leading education, a flourishing economy, and the toughest military out there. There's some memorable historical figures that you'll need to contend with, so make nice when you can and crush your enemies when you must.
Our final deal is one so wicked it could lead you on the path to the dark side. See where I'm going here? There's 60% off Star Wars Battlefront II. These are the deals you're looking for, and it gives you a mammoth amount of content. In fact, this is the most complete amount of Star Wars I think we've ever seen. Fight in large-scale battles across the galaxy's most iconic landscapes, Jakku, Cloud City, Kamino, they're all here and all looking stunning thanks to those Xbox One X enhancements. The game is a true passion project, and in order to fully realize it, the developers dove into the Star Wars Vault to utilize authentic art, sound design, and more. Blasters sound just as good as the movies, and all of the character models are as faithful as can be. So whether you're enjoying some unlimited power as Darth Sidious on Endor, or the suave stylings of a younger Lando Calrissian on Kessel, you can be sure that this Star Wars experience doesn't hold back. As an added bonus, the game also features an original campaign that expands on the lore of the franchise, bridging the gap between the original and sequel trilogies. Play as Iden Verso, an elite member of the Empire's finest death squad, aiming to crush the rebellion as swiftly as a pod racer's reflexes. And if you fancy bulking up on the Star Wars fun, you could check out the Celebration Edition, or the upgrade add-on for those who already own the game. This will add a ton of cosmetics to your game for the ultimate in role-playing goodness. Both of these editions are 50% off, so there's deals all round.
So that's it. This week's special offers for Xbox games. Remember, you can access these deals directly on your console, as well as via the Microsoft website. So be sure to let us know what you've picked down in the comments below. Drop a like, leave us a sub, and we'll see you next time.